Halina mga bata, tayo nang mag-aral. Sa math walang maiiwan. Matsayang mat-aral, tayo nang matuto upang ika'y umasenso. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina't mat-aral na tayo. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina't mat-aral na tayo. Halina mat-aral na tayo. Halina, 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 mat-aral na tayo.
Magandang tanghali po, hapon po sa ating lahat. Ngayon po ay ang Grade 6 Project SOAR Series of Online Academic Reviews of Mathematics Grade Learning Modules. Mga batang mandunong, patuloy po nating i-share ito sa ating mga kaklase para po tayo ay makapag-review kasama sila. Tawagin na rin po natin ang ating mga home learning partners para po tayo ay makapagsimula na. Sa hapon pong ito, meron po tayong espesyal na bisita. Siya po ang ina ng SGOD, ang chief po ng SGOD. Tatawagin ko na po, masigabong palakpakan po para sa ating guest for today. Walang iba po kundi si Mrs. Emma G. Arubio. Good afternoon po, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, Ray. Wow, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Naku, nakikita ang aking mga kasama dito sa bahay, oh. Nakikita sila dyan. Anyway, una sa lahat, nais ko munang batiin si Mr. Resty Rodelas, ang ating education program math supervisor natin. And of course, ang aking partner, yung kanyang nanay, ang CID Chief, Ma'am Aline Mendoza. Siyempre, yung aming nanay at tata, yun yung haligi. Sila ang haligi ng SDO Mandaluyong. Na walang iba po ang ating OIC SDS, Ma'am Romela Cruz, OIC ASDS, Sir Ruel Alfonso, at sa lahat po ng ating mga nanonood ngayon. Imagine Sunday. Sunday is obligation day. But despite that obligation day to the Lord, still we are learning at home. Ang ating mga mag-aaral sa grade 6 and of course ang ating mga home learning partners, ang mga nanay. Kamusta po kayo? Mga bata at mga nanay, no? Ano po ang inyong naranasan ngayong isang linggo na tayong pumapasok from October 5 to October 9? And of course, itong Sabado at Linggo, still you have classes. So, kamusta na ang math sa buhay ninyo? Alam natin na mula kinder, meron din palang math ang kinder, but that is integration. Math ng grade 1 hanggang senior high school. Wow, kamusta na ang math sa buhay ninyo in the new normal, mga bata at mga nanay natin? Siguro nag-iisip kayo, unang araw pa lamang, nahihirapan na ba ang anak ko? Nahihirapan ba akong magturo sa aking anak? Yan po ang kasagutan na dapat nating malaman sa araw na ito. Maganda yung Clyde modules na ginawa, no? Maganda siya. Meaning to say, ang modules na ginawa ni Dr. Tuloy, malapit na maging doktor yan si Mr. Rodelas, ay 4 modules in a week. Wow. Tanong ko mga bata, sobra ba yung modules na yon na inyong pag-aaralan? O ito ba ay makakatulong sa inyo ng higit pa? Dahil tayo ay nasa new normal, isipin natin, wala tayo sa eskwelahan. Nasa bahay tayo. 'di ba? Ang gabay ninyo ay ang inyong mga magulang. Mga nanay, kamusta naman po ang pagtuturo sa mga anak? Alam po ninyo, kami po ay noong Friday, bumisita sa bawat barangay. May kanya-kanya kami barangay na pinuntahan. At nalaman po namin sa mga bata, sa mga magulang, ang kanilang karanasan sa unang linggo ng opening ng klase. Merong iba ay masaya, yung mga bata. Yung iba naman, medyo hindi namang masasabing malungkot. Masaya sila, pero mas masaya daw sila kung sila ay nasa paaralan. Gustong-gusto nilang pumasok sa paaralan. Bakit? Ang sagot ng bata, "Ma'am, gusto ko po kasing makita ang aking mga kaklase, ang aking mga kaibigan, ang aking guro ng personal, face-to-face, at maganda po yung may interaction between the teacher and the students." So, yan ang sagot. Sabi ko, "Oo nga naman, ano? Talagang namimiss mo na ba ang school?" "Yes, ma'am, namimiss namin ang paaralan." Malapit lang po ang paaralan namin dito, pero tanaw na tanaw po namin, gustong-gusto namin pumasok. Ang sabi ko naman, hindi pwede. Kasi bawal kayong lumabas. Sa new normal ngayon, ang bata ay hindi allowed lumabas. Sa bahay lang kayong mag-aaral. But then, sa nakita ko sa lahat ng mga batang nag-aaral sa loob ng bahay, sa inyong tahanan, halos lahat tumaba. Bakit? Paano yung kain? Yeah, may tinanong kami, ikaw ba, kahit nag-aaral ka sa loob ng bahay, may baong ka rin ba? Ang sagot ng bata, meron po, ma'am. Saan ka kumuha ng baon? Diyan po sa tabi, sa tindahan. O, you see? Kaya nakakatuwa ang mga batang ito. Tanong namin, paano ang inyong pag-aaral using the module? Okay, ano ang inyong karanasan? Sabi nila, meron po namang madali, meron po namang mahirap. Okay, math tayo ngayon. Mag-aral ng math. Okay, iba ang mathematics nung kami ay nag-aaral. Iba talaga siya. Iba rin sa ngayon ang pag-aaral ng math. Medyo higher level siya ng konti. Dahil kami noon ay basic lamang siya, pero nakakaintindi naman kami at lalo na kapag naipaliwanag ng guro ng maayos sa bata paulit-ulit, mas madaling maintindihan. Ngayon, i-compare natin sa new normal. Paano kayo matututo using the Clyde modules? Okay. So, madali lang naman yon mga bata at saka mga nanay. Alam ko yung mga nanay hindi nila naranasan yung math ngayon dahil medyo nasa higher level na siya, na may konti kayong alam, may iba naman ay hindi alam kung paano i-solve ang math. No, pag basic sa grade 6 medyo madali pa rin para sa akin kasi naintindihan ko pa rin ang mathematics ng grade 6, pero pagdating na ng junior high school at saka senior high school, wala na, hindi ko na alam. Pero sa tulong ng inyong mga magulang at sa tulong din ng mga guro, mga bata, makinig lang kayo sa instruction ng guro. Madali naman siyang ituro. Pero alam kong napakahirap dahil gusto niyang isolve siya isa-isa at paano makukuha natin ito isa-isa. No? So, alam ko, especially if you are using Messenger class platform, mahirap talaga. But if you are using Google Classroom through Google Meet, palagay ko mas maintindihan ng mga bata. Napakaganda ng programang ginawa ni Mr. Rodelas. Ito yung tinatawag na Project SOAR, Series of Online Academic Reviews of Clyde Modules. Yung math. Dahil ang forte ni Mr. Rodelas ay math. So sa tulong na ginagawa ng project na ito, sa lahat po ng nanonood ngayon, this is live, no? Mapapanood ninyo kung paano ituturo o parang i-review nila ulit yung mga lessons from day 1 ng October 5 hanggang Friday. Kayo doon sa module na yon. Anong module na kayo? Kung ito ay 4 modules in a week, so mabilisan ang turo natin. Sa mga teachers naman na nanonood ngayon, alam ko may mga teachers tayong nanonood. No? Ang sabi ko sa teacher, since math is English, turo ng English ito. Kung po pwede lang, itagalog na lang siya. Taglis ang turo ng teacher sa bata. Mas maintindihan ito ng bata. Magbigay ng halimbawa sa Tagalog din at lahat ng instruction ay puro Tagalog siya. Kasi napakahirap magturo kung messenger ang gagamitin at hindi naman lahat maituturo doon, lalo na solving problems. Pag sinabing solving problems, meron pang what is given in the problem, no? What is asked in the problem, and so on. So napakahirap talaga niyan. So itong project na ito na ibinigay ni Mr. Rodela sa lahat ng mag-aaral from grade 1 hanggang senior high school, wow ako dito. Gusto ko itong project na to. Bakit kamo? Ang bata ay matututo sa gabay ng mga guro na magtuturo ngayon. Papaano ituturo step by step ang module na yan, module 1 or module 2, o likay module 1A, module 1B, and so on. So, maganda siya. Ang gagawin lamang ng nanay at ng mga bata ay manood. Mag-backread kayo. Tingnan natin yung nakaraan, yung mula Monday hanggang Friday. Alin doon ang hindi maintindihan ninyo? So pag ito ay napaliwanag na, dahil ito ay Sabado at Linggo ginagawa, no? Pasensya na kayo dahil ito lamang ang time na pwedeng kunin natin ang mga teachers at mga magulang at mga bata. Because from Monday to Friday, may klase ang mga batang ito at ang nanay naman ang gabay at ang ibang magulang naman ay may trabaho. So, ganong akin mga bata at mga magulang, pagtiyagaan po ninyong turuan ang inyong mga anak, gabay po kayo ng inyong mga anak, at ang mga guro naman ang siyang magtuturo sa magulang kung paano gagawin ng mga batang ito at paano nila sasagutin ang nasa module. Kasi po marami siyang mga activities na dapat tapusin. In a week, kailangan tapos siya ng isang module. At ito ay pwede nang ipasa or picturean kung messenger, at kung ano naman ito ay pwede rin naman i-email, i-scan lang naman yan, email sa teacher, and so on. So there are many ways, on how to submit your output to your teachers. So sa inyo pong lahat, maraming salamat, at kahit Sabado at Linggo, nandiyan kayo, may schedule kayo na 1 oras lamang. 1 hour is enough to learn something. And this is through online, through StreamYard. Virtual pa rin siya kasi hindi naman tayo pwedeng pumasok sa paaralan na isa-isahin natin. Sa ganoong pamamaraan na ito, ang lahat ng mga bata at magulang ay matututo. Ipagpatuloy lamang ang project na to, Project SOAR. Malamang pag ito ay natapos na, maraming batang matututo kung paano mag-solve ng isang problem, paano mag-add, mag-subtract using the 4 fundamental operations, ay sana ang mga batang ito kahit nasa bahay na master na nila ito. Sa ganun pa man, ang math kasi habang tumataas ang grade level ay siyempre, mataas din naman ang kung paano natin to ituturo. Dahil ako nga, pagdating sa secondary na, parang hindi ko na alam kasi meron na diyang calculus, meron na diyang statistics, no? Yun yung mga lesson na dapat natin intindihin. Sa elementary, medyo mababa pa yan, kaya pa ng magulang, pero pagdating ng junior and senior high school, mahirapan na tayo. Pero matyaga naman ang ating mga mag-aaral. Sa nakita namin ng Friday, talagang may mga batang gamit ang module Clyde at yun ay kanilang sinasagutan. Iniintindi. Mahirap man daw pero kailangan nilang unawain. But there are other ways on how to identify, on how to solve a problem. Gumamit kayo ng application. Ituturo yan ni Mr. Rodelas kung paano paggamit niyan. May alam ako, siya na lang magsasabi, meron 3 application sa math na pagka ito ay i-click mo lang naman yan, nandun na lahat ang sagot. O, di ba Mr. Rodelas? Ituro mo yan sa mga bata o yung mga guro natin para alam nila, sila na lang mag-intindi kung paano nakuha ito. And to all teachers naman, kung ang mga bata ay magtatanong, don't hesitate to answer them. Dapat niyong gabayan, dapat niyong turuan, dapat ninyong sagutin ang kanilang mga queries kasi hindi nga nila naintindihan. Pero this time, dahil meron tayong review lesson for the past week, itong linggong ito, ay ito ang sagot na sa mga hindi nakakaintindi kung papaano ngayon isusolve, sasagutin ang mga katanungan sa bawat activities or bawat activity sa module na yan or activities na yan na ang tanging makakasagot lamang ay ang inyong mga guro sa gabay nila sa pagtuturo at sa gabay din ng mga magulang. So sa inyo pong lahat, maraming salamat sa inyong pagtugon sa tulong na rin ng SDO Mandaluyong headed by Mr. Resty Rodelas. Kayo po ay tinatanggap namin sa SDO Mandaluyong na kaagapay kayo sa programang ito na kayo ang makikinabang in the end at kayo rin ang matututo. So sa inyo pong lahat, maraming salamat and have a nice day at laging keep safe po kayo lagi and God bless everyone. Thank you, Resty.
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng paalala at pagsuporta po sa amin, Ma'am Emma Arubio. Ngayon naman po, alam ko marami na tayong viewers, naipon na po ang ating viewers at excited na sila na ma-meet ang kanilang reviewer for this afternoon. So wag na po nating patagalin, introduce ko po ang inyong reviewer for this afternoon. So ang ating pong tutor/teacher ay mula sa Ilaya Barangka Integrated School. Siya po ang mathematics coordinator ng elementary department, naging MTOP speaker for grade 4 teachers, kasalukuyang kumukuha ng master's degree in education, major in elementary mathematics sa National Teachers College, at grade 6 teacher sa Ilaya Barangka Integrated School. Sabi niya po, siya raw ang Miss Universe 2020 with Charot. Yan na po. Hindi na po natin patatagalin. Walang iba kundi si Sir Roy Jaudalso. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, Sir Ray. Talagang binasa mo yung panghuli, ano?
Yes,
Ayan.
sir. Kasi ano yan. Signature mo yan. Okay.
Yes.
So, mabumati ka naman po sa ating mga viewers.
Ayan, so bago ang lahat, gusto kong pasalamatan, of course, ang ating SGOD Chief, Ginang Emma G. Arubio, for joining us this afternoon. Sa ating Education Program Supervisor in Mathematics, Sir Resty Rodelas. At sa aking napakagandang principal, walang iba kundi si Binibining GGG Bulyanday for allowing me to do this. Sa ating mga mag-aaral at sa lahat ng ating home learning partners, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ayan. Sir Ray, kinakabahan ako sa iyo.
So, wag na po nating patatagalin, sir. Let us all start the review for grade 6. Enjoy, grade 6 learners.
Good of online academic review of mathematics applied learning module. I am Mr. Roy P. Jaudalso, a teacher from Ilaya Barangka Integrated School, and I will be your reviewer for week 1 of grade 6 mathematics.
Ang ating aralin ay addition and subtraction of simple fractions and mixed numbers with or without regrouping. Let us first have without regrouping. How do we add or subtract similar fractions without regrouping? To add or subtract fractions with like denominators, if the denominators are already the same, then you're ready to add or subtract. Add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominators the same. Simplify or reduce the fraction if possible. If you end up with an improper fraction, change it to a mixed number. Let us have an example. 1/5 plus 2/5. Add the numerators, so 1 plus 2 equals 3. Then copy the common denominators, which is 5. This answer cannot be reduced any further. Let us have another example. 2/15 plus 7/15. Add the numerators. 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. Then copy the common denominator, which is 15. Our answer can still be reduced in lowest term. Now, how can we reduce 9/15 in lowest term? Step 1. Find the common factors of the numerator and the denominator. Factors of 9 are 1, 3, and 9. Factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. The GCF of 9 and 15 is 5. Then, divide the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor. So, 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. And 15 divided by 3 is equal to 5. Our answer is 3 over 5. Now let us have 9 over 14 minus 5 over 14. 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. Then copy the common denominator, which is 14. Now 4 over 14 can still be reduced in lowest term. The GCF of 4 and 14 is 2. So we divide by 2 to reduce. So 4 divided by 2 and 14 divided by 2 is equal to 2 over 7. Let's have 2 and 2 over 9 plus 3 and 3 over 9. First, add the whole numbers. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Then, add the fractions. Add the numerators. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Then copy the common denominators, which is 9. Our answer is 5 and 5 over 9. Next, we have 3 and 5 sevenths minus 2 sevenths. Since our subtrahend doesn't have a whole number, we can already copy the whole number on our minuend. That is 3. Then subtract the fractions. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Then copy the common denominators, which is 7. Our answer is 3 and 3 over 7. Now, how do we add or subtract these similar fractions? Let us have 1/2 plus 3 sevenths. We need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Now, how do we find the LCD of these fractions? Very good. We are going to list the multiples of 2 and 7. Now, the first number in common that appears on both lists becomes the least common denominator. Now, the LCD is 14. Next step, make equivalent fractions. Now, how do we make equivalent fractions? We are going to divide the new denominator to the previous one. Then, multiply the quotient to the numerator. So, 14 divided by 2 times 1 is equal to 7. 14 divided by 7 times 3 is equal to 6. Then add the numerators. 7 plus 3 is equal to 13? Our answer is 13 over 14. Let us have another example. 3 and 3 over 7 plus 1 over 5. Again, we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Let us list the multiples of 7 and 5. Now the LCD is 35. Very good. Then make equivalent fractions. So 35 divided by 7 times 3 is equal to 15. 35 divided by 5 times 1 is equal to 7. Then add the numerators. 15 plus 7 is equal to 22. Then copy the whole number. Our answer is 3 and 22 over 35. Next example, 2/3 plus 1/6. Again, we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Let us list the multiples of 3 and 6. Now the LCD is 6. Very good. Then make equivalent fractions. 6 divided by 3 times 2 is equal to 4. 6 divided by 6 times 1 is equal to 1. Then add the numerators. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Our answer is 5, 6. For subtraction, let us have 3/11 minus 1/5. We need the least common denominator to subtract a fraction from another. Let us list the multiples of 5 and 11. Now the LCD of 3/11 and 1/5 is 55. Again, make equivalent fractions. 55 divided by 11 times 5 is equal to 15. 55 divided by 5 times 1 is equal to 11. Then subtract. 15 minus 11 is equal to 4. Our answer is 4 over 55. Let us have another example. 2 and 1/2 minus 3 over 10. We need the least common denominator to subtract one fraction from another. The multiples of 2 are, and the multiples of 10 are. Now the LCD of 1/2 and 3/10 is 10. Again, let us make equivalent fractions. 10 divided by 2 times 1 is equal to 5. 10 divided by 10 times 3 is equal to 3. Then subtract. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Then copy the whole number. Now the fraction can still be reduced in lowest term. 2 and 10 can be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1 and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our final answer is 2 and 1 over 5. Now let us have addition and subtraction of simple fraction and mixed numbers with regrouping. How do we add or subtract similar fractions and mixed numbers with regrouping? Let us have 4/5 plus 2/5. Again, when we add similar fractions, we only need to add the numerators, then copy the common denominators. So 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 over the common denominator, which is 5. As you notice, our answer is an improper fraction, so we need to change it into a mixed number. How do we change an improper fraction to a mixed number? Yes, we divide the numerator by the denominator. So 6 divided by 5 is equal to 1 remainder 1. 1 will be our whole number, and the remainder 1 will be the numerator of the fraction. Then copy 5 as the denominator. Our answer is 1 and 1/5. Let us have 4 and 8/15 plus 9/15. Copy 4, then add the fractions. 8 plus 9 is equal to 17, then copy the common denominator, which is 15. This is an improper fraction, so we need to change it as a mixed number. 17 divided by 15 is 1, remainder 2, and that remainder will become your numerator over 15. So 4 and 17 over 15 will become 4 plus 1 and 2 over 15. Now 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Then copy the fraction 2 over 15. The answer is 5 and 2/15. What about in subtraction? Let us have 2 and 3 over 14 minus 5 over 14. As you notice, 3 over 14 is smaller than 5 over 14. Therefore, we cannot subtract 5 from 3. So we need to regroup 2 and 3 over 14. To regroup, let us borrow 1 from 2. 2 will become 1. Then add 1 that we borrowed from 2 over 14. That is 14 over 14. This is equivalent to 1. Then add. Copy 1. Then 3 plus 14 is equal to 17 over the common denominator, which is 14. Now 1 and 17 over 14 is equal to 2 and 3 over 14. Then rewrite the problem. 1 and 17 over 14 minus 5 over 14. Bring down the whole number 1, then 17 minus 5 is equal to 9 over 14. Our answer is 1 and 9 over 14. Now let us proceed in adding or subtracting the similar fractions with regrouping. Let us have the first example, 3/5 plus 2/3. Now we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Now list the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 5. Now the LCD of 3 and 5 is 15. Then make equivalent fractions. 15 divided by 5 times 3 is equal to 9. 15 divided by 3 times 2 is equal to 10. Then add the numerators. 9 plus 10 is equal to 19. Our answer is 19 over 15. Our answer is an improper fraction, so we need to change it into a mixed number. So we need to divide 19 by 15. So 19 divided by 15 is equal to 1, remainder 4. 4 will become the numerator of your fraction. Then copy the denominator 15. Our answer is 1 and 4 over 15. Let us have another example. 5/11 plus 3 and 2/3. Now we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. So list the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 11. Now the LCD of 5/11 and 2/3 is 33. Very good. Then make equivalent fractions. 33 divided by 11 times 5 is equal to 15. 33 divided by 3 times 2 is equal to 22. Now add the numerators. 15 plus 22 is equal to 37. Then copy the whole number. Our answer is 3 and 37 over 33. This is an improper fraction, so we need to change it into a mixed number. So 3 and 37 over 33 will become 3 plus the mixed form of 37 over 33, which is 1 and 4 over 33. Then add. 3 plus 1 is 4, then copy the fraction 4 over 33. Let us have another one. 1 and 2/3 plus 1/2. Again, we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. List the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 2. E of 2/3 and 1/2 is 6. Then make equivalent fractions. 6 divided by 3 times 2 is equal to 4. 6 divided by 2 times 1 is equal to 3. Then add the numerators. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. Then copy the whole number. Our answer is 1 and 7 over 6. This is an improper fraction, so we need to change it again into a mixed number. 1 and 7 over 6 will become 1 plus 1 and 1/6. So the answer is 2 and 1/6. Now let's have 3 and 8 over 11 minus 1/5. Again, we need the least common denominator to subtract a fraction from another. So list the multiples of 5 and the multiples of 11. So the least common denominator of 8 over 11 and 1/5 is 55. Using our new denominator, make equivalent fractions. So 55 divided by 11 times 2 is equal to 8. 55 divided by 5 times 4 is equal to 44. Here, we cannot subtract 44 from 8, so we need to regroup. Let us borrow 1 from 3. 3 will become 2. Then add 1 that we borrowed from 3 to 8 over 55. That is 55 over 55. And this is equal to 2 and 63 over 55. We can now rewrite the problem. 2 and 63 over 55 minus 44 over 55 is equal to 2 and 19 over 55. Let's have our last example. 4 and 1/3 minus 2 and 3/4. Again, we need the least common denominator to subtract a fraction from another. So list the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 4. So the LCD of 1/3 and 3/4 is 12. Now let us make equivalent fractions. 12 divided by 3 times 1 is equal to 4. 12 divided by 4 times 3 is equal to 9. We now have 4 and 4 over 12 minus 2 and 9 over 12. Now we cannot subtract 9 from 4, so we need to regroup again. Let us borrow 1 from 4, and 4 will become 3. Then add 1 that we borrowed from 4 to 4 over 12. That is 12 over 12. 12 over 12 is equivalent to 1. So our answer here is 3 and 16 over 12. 3 and 16 over 12 is the same as 4 and 4 over 12. Now let us rewrite the fractions. 3 and 16 over 12 minus 2 and 9 over 12. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. 16 minus 9 is 7, then copy the common denominator, which is 12. Our answer is 1 and 7 over 12.
And that's all for today. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, feel free to send a message to our official Facebook page, Math Team Mathematics Teachers of Mandaluyong, or send a message to your mathematics teachers. This is Teacher Roy saying, matsayang mag-aral, tayo nang matuto. Paalam!
At ayun na nga po ang review session natin for grade 6. So, ano po ang may papayo natin, Sir Roy, sa ating mga parents and learners?
Yes, sir. Andun pa rin ako sa lesson eh. Ninanamnam ko. Ayan, para sa ating mga learners and home learning partners, alam ko po na mahirap po ang ating nahaharap ngayon, pero po sa ating pagtutulungan, ito ay malalampasan po natin.
Ayan, thank you very much, Sir Roy, and God bless you po. So, ngayon naman po ay isang napakahabang araw po nito para sa ating lahat at nagpapasalamat po kaming lahat dahil sa inyong pagtangkilik sa Project SOAR. So, bago po tayo magtapos, akin pong ipinakikilala ang magbibigay ng panapos na mensahe, ang ating pong Public Schools District Supervisor in charge of Hulo Integrated School and City of Mandaluyong Science High School. Walang iba po kundi si Dr. Darwin S. Bonifacio. Good afternoon po, sir. And welcome po sa Project SOAR. Ayan, habang inaantay po natin si sir, magbabasa po muna tayo ng mga comments. Ayan. Good afternoon po mula galing daw ni Sir Kemeroy. Wow. Oh, proud friend, Ma'am Joanne. Good afternoon po. Another one. Thank you for teaching from Vicente Escamillan. Maraming salamat po. Thanks from Hulo Integrated School. Wow. Daming fans si Sir Roy. Maraming salamat po. Thank you po sa mga comments. Talagang flooding po ang comments sa ngayon. Maraming salamat daw po Sir Roy sa pagtuturo. Ayan po. Ayan na nga po. So, dahil po nagkakaroon po tayo ng technical problems, so hindi ko na po patatagalin dahil mayroon pa po tayong mga kailangan ayusin sa Family Day. This is Sunday, this is Family Day. All right. So, ayan. So, magkita-kita po muli tayo sa episode ng ating Project SOAR. See you po next Saturday and Sunday. Bye-bye po!
Halina mga bata tayo nang mag-aral sa mat, walang maiiwan. Matsayang mat-aral tayo nang matuto upang ika'y umasenso. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina't mat-aral na tayo. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina't mat-aral na tayo. Halina mat-aral na tayo. Halina, 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 mat-aral na tayo.